In Krashen's first hypothesis of his second language acquisition theory, Krashen is discussing, or the monitor model, Krashen is discussing the natural acquisition of language that happens subconsciously when a speaker or a language learner is attempting to navigate through a language with real purposes. So rather than breaking a language down into its components to study the language like we might in a textbook Spanish class, for instance, what Krashen is talking about is getting out into the world and into social contexts and using the language and grappling with the language, coming up with a series of trial and error attempts that allow the speaker and language learner to acquire the language in a natural format. I'd like to use this theory as a lens through which to view the video game Kisima Ingichuna, or Never Alone, which is a video game that was created in collaboration with 40 Alaska Native elders as a bridge towards the retention of Native languages for a younger generation. So I'll start by showing you a video preview of the game from the Never Alone website, and then come back and relate Krashen's hypothesis.
Imanga kanga kolektu arulu kangxilablu kinguneking kolektu apta kangxipkaroga igderosia nuna sule kano enyonekut iloni Aglan, Shukrawat, Utukat, Kolaktuat, Al Rashutat, Tatkamna, a Victoire Damna. Damna, Shigunevlu, Umina Pirale.
Krashen hypothesizes that the best methods of language acquisition are those that involve comprehensible input. And comprehensible input is, he defines as input that's given in low anxiety situations through messages that the students really want to hear. So rather than pressuring students to create and produce language, instead this focuses on the speaker receiving comprehensive and communicative messages that then encourage them to create and produce language at their own pace. So the way this relates to the video game is that through this gameplay, the players are exposed to a rich visual landscape that contextualizes the language. So a lot of the information that would be passed down through the language of these Alaska Native tribes is available visually through the gameplay. So the players are able to interact with different landscapes and learn different lessons. These are things that would typically be passed down through the language itself, but the language in the game is used as an incentive for the player to reach another level. So if the player needs to level up, they will receive a message that's important that's been recorded into the game by a native speaker. I'd like to finish today with a clip from an interview with Joseph Sage, an Inupiaq youth educator, talking about the Never Alone game and its use in context of the community, to give you a sense of how this game really is helping to bridge the generation gap between elders and youth and encourage a new generation of language learning.
When I heard about this game, my first mindset is, why didn't we have this in the beginning? Having tools like this, doing anything and everything you can to empower the teaching, that's something that I've always wanted to see happen, because there's a connection from my generation to my kids' generation, and this game is going to take it to the next level. I think it's something that is a stepping stone of what's to come. I knew this was going to come someday because of how fast technology is rising. But to use it to share what I know and how I grew up. To share our traditional way of life. That's something else. And that is something I could say that I'm proud of being a part of.